What's up, everybody? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to a huge story, that being the breakdown of Riot. They have now reached a class action lawsuit settlement, with allegedly 2 women out there. Congratulations to those 2 women who have ferociously fought this battle, guys. Amongst them, though, have been the backings of at least a dozen or more Riot employees who have cited several things across the company. And with this release of Riot's statement, guys, we see the irony in the entire case itself. You know, a company like Riot can't fully just come out and say, hey, we are guilty. So instead, they kind of tiptoe back and forth around this settlement. So first of all, congratulations to those 2 women who have reached settlement in this case. But let's read Riot's release on this, because they allegedly have taken their one step forward with this company, and I really truly hope this is a step in the right direction for this company, because you know, when it comes time for dozens of employees potentially, you know, at least a dozen or so coming out over the past year or so amidst gender discrimination, gender disparity in terms of the wages they actually are paid, alongside that sexual harassment for both men and women. Those are very, very serious issues. So let's read Riot's release on this and exactly what they had to say. As many of you know, there have been a few lawsuits filed against Riot since last year, including proposed class action that alleged claims of gender discrimination in pay and promotion, sexual harassment, and retaliation against women working at Riot offices in California. This is great. It's a great start, right? But it also kind of has that tinge of a lead up of, you know, they're going to probably deny at least what they just stated. And like I said before, guys, there were several allegations for both men and women when it came time for sexual harassment, as well as a disparity in the pay gap between men and women, amongst other things targeted towards women as well. So there were so many people coming out about this. They even had their own walkout at Riot headquarters as well. So Riot starts out by saying, you might have heard about a few of these lawsuits, right? With a variety of reasons. Well, here's what's next. After extensively reviewing these issues, we can confidently state that gender discrimination in pay or promotion, sexual harassment, or retaliation are not systemic issues at Riot. Okay. All right, so that's Riot saying, hey, these are not going to be systemic issues. These are not big issues inside Riot. I don't really have too big of qualms with that until it actually does continue as they go on. But what we also learned during this process was that some Rioters have had experiences that did not live up to our values or culture. AKA, hey, these are not systemic issues, but we understand a few of our employees, if not more, have undergone some things that don't live up to our culture. AKA, they might have been sexually harassed. They might have experienced some other issues inside Riot, and those don't live up to our culture. What a weird, soft way to word that, hey, these are not major issues, although some people might be experiencing these major issues, AKA the lawsuit that 2 women have now filed against you and you've settled for. But it does go on, luckily for all of us. We have made a commitment to Rioters that we would be willing to take the steps necessary to build trust and to demonstrate that we are serious about Riot evolving into an excellent place to work for all Rioters. Now, I will give them credit where credit is due. They've had several posts about this, their 1-year step forward as well, their 1-year reflections, I should say, and then last year, their step forward as well. It does seem in terms of diversity, they're doing great things. You know, upwards of close to 30% women, 45% minorities in their hiring process. That's great stuff. And I do truly think these cases will bring a better environment to Riot, so I will give them credit where credit is due. It should get better. We have seen this across many developers out there. Stories break out, and I hope it does actually fix the issue. Although when it comes terms of actually settling this lawsuit, they almost make themselves sound like heroes in the case. So when speaking of their lawsuit between them and these 2 women, they did actually say, while we believed that we had a strong position to litigate, aka they had a strong position to drag this out or even win the case itself, we realized that in the long run, doing what is best for both Riot and Rioters was our ideal outcome. Therefore, rather than entrench ourselves and continue to litigate, we chose to pivot and try to take an approach that we believe best demonstrates our commitment to owning our past and to healing the company so that we can move forward together. As such, we are pleased to announce that we've come to an agreement in principle to settle the class action lawsuit against Riot. You see what I mean, right? You know, they had to say it. They couldn't just say, hey, we were guilty in this. And I understand Riot cannot fully come out and say, hey, yes, there was sexual harassment in our offices. There were other things going on. They can't do that. It would look terrible for them, but they also can't just drag out this case and win it with all these allegations going on. It would make them somehow look even worse, right? They were stuck in a pickle. They could not do either of those things. So they decided to settle the case and make sure to mention, though, they had to say it, right? They had to say, although we felt we were in a strong position to win this case, we've decided to settle. You're welcome. Melanie and Jessica, congratulations. And to all the riders who backed them up with the walkout, with all of their outcoming allegations as well, I want to thank you, and I hope these women have too. And it was a combined effort, right? These two women could not have done it alone, or at least I'm going to assume that. In terms of that, congratulations to them for actually settling out of court. I hope that the riders who actually did settle, I hope they got what they wanted out of this, and it's going to be hopefully progressing this environment going forward. Now, why I'm coming off with a bit of a tinge in my attitude towards Riot is because they release these step forwards, right? They release these one-year reflections, but what really bothers me is how they almost paint themselves as the hero. Like, we chose to settle for you guys. We chose to settle because it makes us a healthier environment, although there should have been things done a long time ago to make sure you had a healthier environment. That includes getting rid of some employees who have done things that are irreparable. I can't even say some words. You guys know that, but especially when it comes to a guy like Scott Gelb, who has accusations, a long list of them, from several employees, accusations from several sources out there who have stated this guy, Scott Gelb, a very high up rioter, you know what he's done, guys? Oh, just the occasional humping of employees, just the occasional farting on employees, just the usual stereotypical daily life of an upper person in any company, right? Also accusations of tapping people in the balls. Don't you just love that when you walk into work and your boss farts on you or just starts humping you or touches you on your front side? Yeah, and you know what he got for that? A pay suspension. He's still back there. They couldn't even fire the guy. And so you say these things that you've taken all these steps forward, but when there are several accusations against a guy like that, I can't imagine going back to work after coming out about this guy and having to see him again and having to look him in the eyes and say, hey, are you gonna fart on me today? Huh? What are you gonna do, huh, Scotty boy? You can only preach so much. Actions speak louder than your words that you put in these articles as well, And so it does bother me, because if we know about that case, right, they are accusations, but there are several of them. If we know about that, what do we not know about? What have rioters in the upper management, have they possibly done? It makes you speculate, right? What have they done and gotten away with that we don't know about? And that's the crazy part all about this. I really do congratulate the women that did settle. I also congratulate the company for helping them settle and take this in the right direction. I hope the culture does do better, but now that the clock does begin. I was talking to Zan, my podcast partner, about this. The clock does start. With all of this going public, Riot, you cannot make any more mistakes, especially now more than ever. If you do, things can go downhill very fast. So we'll see what happens, guys. Hopefully things do get the better over at Riot. As always, my name is Jake, breaking down esports and gaming news here all day long. Crazy stories do continue. If you guys don't come back, have a great weekend. I'll see you back here Monday. If you guys do, we have several videos coming out today, tomorrow, and Sunday, and all of next week. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.